Good morning, everybody. This is the Southwest Welding Academy. My name is Wisdom Shapar, and I'm your welding instructor. Today in this video, in this instructional video, I will be going over the welding safety and the booth procedures, okay? So first and foremost, when you come to weld, you want to have a good mindset, right? What I mean by good mindset is, if anything outside the booth, leave it outside the booth, okay? You can have personal problems on your mind. You want to clear your head before you come in the booth, right? Come into practice welding with a clear head, okay? That means the only thing that you should be that should be on your mind when you're welding is your arc length, travel speed, your current, your penetration, and your overall straightness. Stuff like that, stuff involving your weld, okay? While you're welding, you shouldn't be thinking about what you're gonna eat for lunch, you know what I'm saying? You shouldn't be thinking about how your girlfriend just did you bad. These are just simple examples. You shouldn't be thinking about how your car just broke down, you know what I'm saying? Because while you welding, what you think about when you're welding, when it's dark and you just all you see is the weld, what you thinking about matters, right? So if you're real frustrated, your weld gonna look frustrated. You're gonna see, you're not gonna be able to take your time, okay? When your mind is racing and you're trying to take your time, it's not going. So just try to calm down, right? Just be centered when you come in the booth, okay? Take your time, calm down, have a steady head, a steady mind. Be ready to learn. Be ready to have your eyes open because you gotta watch your puddle 24/7, okay? You will notice when you are upset and frustrated with personal issues on your mind, it's harder to maintain a nice, clean, strong weld, right? Maintain your focus, right? So when you welding, you gotta focus on your puddle, you gotta focus on your weld, right? You gotta focus on a lot of things. So, like I said, the penetration, your straightness, your current, your speed, your travel, your travel speed, and your arc length, right? It's a lot of things you gotta worry about and focus on, not just worry about, but focus on while you're welding, right? So if you're focusing on something outside of the booth while you're trying to focus on welding, right, it won't really piece together, and it's gonna be really hard, right? Second thing I'm gonna go over is PPE again, right? I gotta get mine. 1 second, I gotta get mine. So keep in mind, your mindset is your first on safety list, right? Your mindset, right? Okay, so number 2 on the list is your PPE. So we're gonna go over PPE one more time. What does PPE stand for? PPE stands for personal protective equipment. Okay? First on the list, you got your helmet, right? So on your helmet, you got your shade settings. This determines how dark your tint is, right? So if the arc is too light, if you stack your arc and it's too bright for your eyes and it starts to hurt your eyes, even with the helmet on, you turn your shade settings a little higher, right? So darken it a little bit. And vice versa, if it was too dark, if you stack your arc, say if it was on 12, if it was too dark and you strike your arc and it's too dark and you can't see, you would turn it down, right? You would lower the numbers, right? So you will be able to see the arc a little bit more. You got your tighten. This is how you tighten it up. On the inside, you got your sensitivity settings and you got your delay settings. The delay really just is self-explanatory. It's the delay on the reaction time. Basically, the inside settings is just to determine the reaction time, right? So the sensitivity, it reacts to if you would turn, you see on the inside, right? You got low, medium, and high settings on both delay and sensitivity, right? So the sensitivity, I got it in the middle for medium, because if I was to put the sensitivity on low, then I might strike my arc and it don't darken. You know what I'm saying? But I saying when I put it on high, this light, actually any light, seems to make this react. Okay, so if you put it on high, any light can mess with this. Okay, so that's why I put it on medium. And the delay, I put it on fast because, again, I don't want to strike my arc and then delay and then I get a little bit of arc out. Okay, so Yeah, that's your helmet settings and that's your welding helmet. When you go in the booth, you should have your welding helmet. You need a welding helmet. Yeah, you can't weld without a welding helmet, right? Okay. Number two on the list, second on the list, you got your safety glasses, right? Nothing's on in this booth right now. I'm not doing any work right now, so I don't have my glasses on. Y'all can see I don't have my PPE in the booth right now. Don't get mad at me. There's nothing on in this booth. I'm just using this booth to explain and make this video for you guys. But second on the list, you got your safety glasses, right? You need your safety glasses are crucial because say you don't have your glasses on and you're using a grinder. Say you walk in the shop and you're using a grinder one day. You don't have your glasses on. Even, let me just put it like this. Even with your glasses on, you still could get stuff in your eyes, right? So you walk in the shop and you don't have your glasses on. It could be not even you using power tools, the grinder or anything. Somebody else could be using the grinder and they get you in the eye. But in here, I'm going to just use an example for the booth in here. While you're using your chipping hammer and you are chipping at your slag, the slag will burst everywhere. The slag is still hot, okay? And it will burst in your eyes. I done had it times. I done had it burst in my mouth and my eyes. You know what I'm saying? Keep your glasses on. Third on the list, you got your welding cap. I don't have mine with me because I'm not in the booth right now. Have your welding cap or some type of cap to go over your head to protect your hair. If you have long hair or dreads that you can't have a cap on, I would say tie your hair back. You know what I'm saying? Tie your hair back. Next on the list, you got your welding jacket, your FR welding jacket, fire resistant welding jacket, right? You need your welding jacket so that sparks in. A jacket like this is gonna go straight through, okay? This is not fire resistant, okay? When you go in the booth or when you go to weld, you need fire resistant clothing, okay? Whether that's cotton or just fire resistant, okay? You see this, and that means it's fire resistant right there. Next on the list, we got the long leather gloves, long leather welding gloves. Okay, so I'm gonna show y'all the difference between your labor gloves and your welding gloves, right? You see how much padding, the padding difference. These are not meant to be welded in, okay? Do not weld in labor gloves. They can't take the same heat that the welding gloves are supposed to take, are meant to take, or designed to take, okay? Long leather welding gloves specifically because not only do these help your hands or protect your hands from the heat and your fingers from the heat, they also protect your wrists and your forearm from getting burns too. Next on the list, you got your mask, whether that's a respirator or just, you know, nowadays everybody got ski masks. That is okay when you're welding, I would say, because of the gases and fumes that go up your nose, okay? Protect your nose, protect yourself, your face from the gases and the fumes from welding, whether that's cutting metal, you know what I'm saying? There's metal all in the air right now. I wish I had my mask, but I don't. So if respirator, keep in mind, respirator and mask are okay, okay? Next on the list, we got a good pair of pants that you can weld in, whether that's cotton pants, a good pair of good jeans, you know what I'm saying? No skinny jeans or some overalls that you can weld in. Really no skinny jeans. No skinny jeans because you will want your jeans or your pants that you are welding in to go over your tongue. See how my pants go over my tongue all the way? You will want it to go all the way around your tongue so that when you're welding, whether that's vertical, or even when you're using power tools like a grinder or the chop saw, anything or the torch, you know what I'm saying? Anything can fly in your boot, okay? And next one is you want to be a good pair of steel-toe boots, steel-toe, right? Make sure you got a good pair of steel-toe boots that are strong, right? That's gonna protect your feet. If any metal fall on your feet, it's gonna hurt, and it might damage your foot permanently, right? So protect your feet, simple, okay? metal could fall on your feet, sparks could go in there or fall through your tongue, burn through your laces and burn through your tongue, right? I'm not saying you gotta get the same boots as me, but have you some good steel toe boots, right? Some good steel toe boots. I can't stress that enough. If anything fall on your foot, your toes is done. Your toes is cooked. Okay, family? Alright. So that's the PPE. Now that we have finished going over the first half of your welding safety, which is your going over your PPE. Y'all see I got my PPE on now. And now we're going to be going over the second half of your welding safety, which is your booth procedures. The first thing you want to do when you get in the booth is, obviously you want to have your PPE on when you get in the booth. If there are electrodes or shavings, slag all over the floor, you want to clean up your floor so you're not standing over a whole bunch of stuff because you will slip. The second thing you want to do is make sure that your electrode cable,
everything is tight.
Everything is tight, right? Yeah. So your stinger cable and your ground cable are tight, right? And to do that, you would just twist the right way. You know what I'm saying? Make sure it's tight. The ground cable is back there. You do not need to touch the ground cable. It's in the safest space and it's out the way. Okay? And then, with that being said, you want to look at your stinger, inspect your stinger,
yeah.
Right? Make sure there are no exposed wires or anything like that. Anything dangerous. You know, with that's what every cable too. Make sure there's nothing exposed. Make sure everything is safe. You know what I'm saying? Make sure your booth is nice and clean and dry. Okay? No wet spots. There shouldn't be no drinks or snacks in the booth. Okay? And then right before you want to weld or start your weld, you always want to close your curtain. Before you start welding, please close your curtain. Okay? All do it like this. You see how you can't see me?
Yeah.
Just like that, okay?
You don't want to wear
instructors or any other students are going to go collect some rods and they walking past blindly not knowing you're in there welding, you can give somebody art out. And I have had it, you feel me? I walk across the aisle plenty times a day and a lot of people
leave the stuff open.
They leave this open all the time. Please close your curtain for everybody else, okay? Just be mindful of everybody else, okay? Okay, so the next procedure you want to do before you turn on your welder. This is the procedures that you do before you turn on your welding. So first couple things that we got on the list before, right? So what we did, I'm gonna go over what we did already. We cleaned up our booth, right? We made sure our booth is nice, clean, and dry. We checked our cables, made sure our cables are nice and tight. We checked our cables, make sure that there are no exposed wires or anything like that. Okay. We went over electrode safety, not leaving the electrode inside of the stinger when you put it up, and where to put the stinger when you are done welding. Always hang it up. Never hang it up right here or just leave it right here. Always hang it up. Okay. Okay, the next procedure you want to do before you turn on your welding is find where you're going to be welding at, where you're going to position yourself, and find where you want to position
the right position for you.
Your workpiece, right? So to do that, you really have to find, you will have to put it to where your height and your wingspan is allowing you to really, because you don't want to be going too far, extending your arms to where you start shaking or leaning too much. You want to kind of have it right in front of you, okay? And be comfortable where you're going. Okay, so to do that, you have to loosen it up. Not bad. Looking like a rubber. Loosen it up and put it up just like that, right? You turn it just like that. And this is how you tighten it. You know? Tighten it up. Down here, you can also loosen it up. You know, when y'all go vertical, you would turn it this way. But right now, we're in the flat position. So I'm tighten it back up. Am I going the wrong way? Okay, tighten it back up. So now that I got my position positioning, right? Because I'm landing right here, or I can land right here. You know what I'm saying? Now that I got my positioning right, I'm gonna turn on my welder. Okay, we practicing flat positioning, so the welder should be set, you know, to 120, at least 120 minimum, okay? Minimum in this position, right? Put my gloves on. I will grab my electrode. I will grab my stinger. I will get in my spat. And right now, I'm just tacking, right? I'm just tacking my plate down, right? Make sure, before you get in the booth, you would want to make sure that your helmet settings are set, you know, correctly, okay? So right now, I'm just doing a little tack wheel. Okay, now that my plate is tacked, let me tack it a little bit more. Hold on. Dang, I get to looking like a rookie. I'm sorry, class. I get to looking like a rookie. Yeah, now that I got it tapped, see my positioning, how my positioning, I'm leaning. You know what I'm saying? I'm leaning. I feel comfortable when I'm welding, so that ensures my wheel be straightness. You know what I'm saying? I'm not landing too much to where I start going up straight and then start leaning and go that way a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I'm real straight with it. Okay. And you see how straight kind of that is? Whereas like, that was the throat. See how I hand it up every time? Every time I'm not using my stinger, I'm putting it back up here. Okay? That's every time. Okay, now we're gonna go over a couple of things, right? First I wanna go over my positioning again, right? So you see how I'm right here, right? You see my feet? How my feet are spread apart, they're not directly under the plate like this. You see that? You know, if this would have failed, first thing I want to say, get a good tap. A good tap will ensure that nothing will fall on your feet while you're welding, okay? Number two is, don't have your feet, even if you have a good tap, don't have your feet right under your workpiece, right? So say if you was welding vertical, it would all trip off the plate sometimes. So you just want to have some, you know, some length, okay? Not only that, this also helps with your balance, you know what I'm saying? You feel more stable, okay? You leaning, and then you got, you know what I'm saying? Your, yeah, okay? So now we're gonna go over the correct way and the safest way to chip your slag off so that y'all not busting at this joint and then hit you in your face, you know what I'm saying? Because it's still hot, okay? What you wanna do is, you can cover with one hand like that, don't touch it, don't get too close because it's still hot. But you can cover with one hand, making sure it don't fly everywhere, and you can hit it from the side, just like that. And you see how it just breaks right off? Just that easy. You do not have to go in the middle and just crack at it, just like that. Okay? You can hit the side real gently like that, and it should break off, just like that. Okay? Just like that. You want to break off your slag and clean it up, just like that. Anything else I need to go over? So let's go over what we went over already, right?
Yeah.
We went over cleaning the booth. This before you turn on the welder. We cleaned the booth before we turned on the welder. We inspected our booth to make sure there was no danger in our booth. We made sure that it was a nice, clean, and dry area to work in. What else? What else did we go over? We went over where the stinger should always be. Don't leave it everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Don't leave it on, especially metal that is grounded. It's still grounded, okay? It's right here in this position right here because we have wood right here. The wood right here is not grounded, okay? Do not leave your stinger. Do not leave your electrode in your stinger when you put it up and when you're done welding, okay? Before you turn on your welder.
Warm up. I'm just speaking about the warm up.
Okay, the warm up. Look like I ran out of rods. This is where you get your rods from when you run out of rods. You come over here to the warm up. And this is a part of safety because what you do not want to do is stick your hand in there, your bare hand in there, and get these rods. Because this warmer is real hot, okay? And the reason being that these rods are in the warmer is because these 7018 rods are low hydrogen rods. Just keep that in mind. Why are they in the warmer? Because 7018 rods are low hydrogen. But back to the point, you want to have your gloves on, your welding gloves on, when you go and grab some more rods, okay? No matter how many it is, when you go in here, you want to make sure that you have your gloves on, okay? Now you repeat, you look around, make sure everything is safe. Don't just look around one time, okay? You always want to be mindful of your surroundings, okay? Because when that hood goes dark, you can't see anything, okay? So before you go dark, everything is around you is secure. And that really sums up this video today class, going over basic welding safety. Your booth procedures. We went over what to do when you first get in the booth, what to do before you're in the booth, right? You want to put on your PPE, you want to have all your PPE, right? And then what to do before, when you go in the booth and before you turn on your welder, you want to clean up, you want to inspect everything. You know what I'm saying? This is an example. Nothing is on in this booth. This booth doesn't get used, right? But this is an example of a cable, electrode or a stanger cable with exposed wires, right? This is what you want to look out for, you know what I'm saying, before you turn on your welder, right? That's just an example. So we went over what to look for when you first come in the booth, you know what I'm saying, before you turn on your welder. You want to position your welding joint or your welder. You want to set your position. You want to find your spot, you know what I'm saying, get comfortable. Okay, and set the position to your comfort, to your comfort. Okay. You want to tighten up the cables, this, that, the third. Okay, you never want to have your stanger laying around on any grounded metal. You always want to hang it up on the wood, on where it's supposed to be hung up at. Okay, as you seen in the video. Yeah, before you leave the booth, you should turn off your booth, hang up your stanger. I didn't go over this, but you hang up your stanger. You want to turn off your booth. You want to turn off your welder. You want to clean your booth, and then turn off the light and exit. Simple as that. So that when you come in the next day, or someone comes in behind you, they don't have to clean up behind you, and they can just get straight to business. You know what I'm saying? Get straight to practicing they craft. Okay. Couple things I want to point out. I know this isn't really relevant to welding right now, but the reason being, what I'm trying to say is, if it sounds like I'm talking too fast, or you can't really hear what I'm saying in the clip, or it just seems like I'm unsure, please do not think I'm unsure. I am 100% sure on everything I be saying. It's just, I gotta upgrade my vocabulary, or the vocabulary that I use on a regular basis. I try not to use it in the videos, so you might hear me say a lot. I really don't like saying I really don't like saying I hate saying you know what I'm saying, but I do say it a lot. And in the future videos, I will get better at just fluently going. I just wanted to point that out. Yeah, thanks for watching. This is the Southeast Welding Academy. I'm your welding instructor, Wisdom Shapar, and I'll see you in the next instructional video.